The U.S. invaded Afghanistan in October 2001 in response to terror attacks. Now, 20 years later, we still had a presence and abruptly withdrew all troops. What do you think about this war across the world that was sparked by this tragedy?
Whenever you do something quickly without thinking it out, thinking it through and planning, it doesn't succeed. I understand that we needed to exit. I mean, how long were you going to stay over there? And we've lost over 7,000 of our young souls over there. For sometimes people, I don't know if they're grateful for it or not, right? I mean, I don't know.
So there's the other element, and sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's okay.
One is the financial of $6 trillion, and that money is not just money. It's education. It's everything. It's money that could have gone towards, first of all, the first responders, but all the servicemen and women of all kinds throughout this country. Yeah. And then there's the other side, which is the over 800,000 people who died in direct result of this conflict. So not just the American side of the troops, but just people who died. Those humans. Yeah. And those humans, many of them civilians, that's spreading hate, especially if you have leaders on the other side who frame the death of those civilians in certain ways that just spreads hate throughout the world. And so you think about this kind of 20-year saga and think, what are the ways that money could have be spent better? And what was the way that we could have spread more love in the world versus hate? And you wonder. But then the other side, what is it? I'm not sure who says this line, but it's something like, we sleep at night because there's rough men out there ready to fight for you. There is some sense in which we have to make sure that there's strength coupled with the love, right? Otherwise, evil men will do evil onto the world. So it's a very difficult decision, but then you look at the final picture, and it's like, what have we gotten for this $6 trillion? What have we gotten for this 20 years? The thousands of American soldiers who died, the hundreds of thousands of civilians who have died.
You know, it's a troubling subject for me. I'm a patriot. I love this country. I love it so with my soul. And I was just about to head over to the first Iraqi war, and we went out for desert warfare training, and then it ended. I was at that time a combat medic assigned to an armored cav unit, so basically tanks driving around an armored personnel carrier, and when it gets hit, then you tend to that guy, try to save his life. I didn't want to go. I may sound like a coward. I did not want to go to war. I would have went willingly if I was sent to defend my country. I took my oath. I didn't join the military to kill, but if necessary, I would. I'll use the analogy of cancer. If you have a cancer and you're aware of its presence and you don't annihilate those cells and take them out quickly, it's going to spread and it's going to kill you. Those evil bastards that flew those airplanes, one of those airplanes had a little 3-year-old child in it from Ireland, where my mom's hometown. A friend of mine who's since died of a heart attack from 9/11 toxins, he found her shoe with human remains in it. And he thought someone was messing with us because we didn't know there was any kids in the building. He says, boss, there's a baby shoe and it looks like there's something in it, but there's no kids in the trade center. I went, the plane. It's a little girl's shoe. I can never get that shoe out of my mind. The evil bastards who perpetrated that needed to have missiles strike and rain down upon them and annihilate them like a cancer that they are. What just fascinates me is they'll show videos of these guys flying around in pickup trucks with 50 cows on the back. It's like, well, wait a minute. If a camera crew can get this footage, you think all these freaking drones and planes and radar assisted systems can't just go, good night, you're gone. So kill the cancer, kill the cells, get rid of it quickly, and go into remission.
Like
So
an
the
undeniable show of force that sends a message that gets rid of most of the obvious centers of terrorism. On that note, that's the because we offline mentioned a discussion with Jocko, and maybe a romanticized view and mentioning Brothers in Arms by
yes.
Dire Straits and saying we're all brothers in arms, even when it's on the opposite side of fighting, which is more of a vision. And growing up in the Soviet Union, you saw about World War II
Yes.
that it's all just kids thrown into the kids sent to die on all sides.
Yep.
But then presenting that to Jocko, who was in Iraq, he did not see it as brothers in arms, which is there's his basic statement is there's evil people and some people don't deserve the compassion. You give them a few chances, they don't take the chances, they have to go because they're spreading evil onto the world. And so we're not, all of us deserve a chance.
Oh no,
But
absolutely. But the difference, though, and believe me, Jocko, I am from a way minor league compared to him, right? I mean, this man was right there in the firing line. But I can understand his analogy because when you think about it, right, those young conscripts back in Germany and Russia and all the countries where they were being drafted, even our guys were being drafted and thrown into this. They were gallantly and bravely defending their country. Now, I'm sure the young Germans felt, well, hey, Hitler must be right, right? And the young Russians felt, hey, Stalin must be right. And, the young Americans figured, hey, President Roosevelt must be right. So they were romantically, in a sense, defending the honor of their country, of their motherland. The difference between those, so they did have that commonality. If you and I were firing across each other from France to Germany or, from Germany to Russia or whatever, we're just these two kids who got thrown into this. We didn't freaking ask for this, right? But the difference with Jocko's enemy is no one was attacking their country over there, right? No one was taking their country over. Maybe in their mind they didn't want people trying to build their government, this and that. I don't know. I don't know enough about the history there to really elaborate. But we didn't attack them. And if a soldier attacks a soldier, that's an understood concept amongst warriors. But when a soldier attacks a civilian, now you're after a different beast. And you've written that beast off, if that makes any sense.
yeah, and then the enemy, I mean, as Jocko explains, the enemy in Iraq and just certain parts of the Middle East is essentially terrorists who don't value the lives of the civilians of their own country.
They don't.
And so it becomes like this weird guerrilla warfare / game of violence that ultimately allows them to gain more power within their country, but they don't care if they're playing with civilian lives as pawns. No. If you have a child who dies that's a civilian in their country, that could be seen as a positive for them because they can use that to leverage for more and more power within that country.
Well, absolutely.
And so when you're fighting an enemy like that, that's an evil enemy.
Absolutely. It's like snakes are beautiful, but if you go pet a rattler, you're getting bit and you're getting dead, right?
Yeah.
And that's with terrorists. You got to cut the head of the snake off.